Hello, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. So, Georg talking to these dwarves who are discussing going and getting a different wizard to solve their problems for them.
Yeah.
What do you want to do about this? They're talking about getting Aldrich the Conjurer, Aldrich the Conjurer to do their work for them.
Yeah, I say, but I told you the work I investigated. The work is done. The job's done. No need to outsource. Besides, you wouldn't want word of this getting out. Rumors that you boys were digging into some magic. What'll your cousins think?
Better cousins to think we're alive and talk to the wrong wizard, trusted the wrong wizard, than to be dead. Should have just buried that as soon as we saw it. That's the mistake. Okay. Give me an intelligence there, Georg. Intelligence check.
Can I reach my hand in my pocket and rub the amulet?
No. But you have 18 int. What does it matter? Okay. Your mind has been racing. This has been a lot of information. It's been very exciting for you.
Mm-hmm.
You think magic items to be activated usually need a command word. If a portal is going to be opened, you usually need a command word to open it, or a mechanism to open it.
I go running down to the... Oh no! The only thing I can remember is Unleash the Shadow Realm. Am I really going to shout that at a portal? I go running back towards the portal.
Okay. You head towards the portal. A couple of dwarves come chasing after you, and as does Reptar. And pretty soon, the whole lot of you are running downstairs. You can easily outrun the dwarves, but you get down back into the dungeon before the dwarves get there.
Can I roll an intelligence check to see if I remember anything the mouth said other than Unleash the Shadow Realm?
Give me an intelligence check. See if you can remember anything that was said.
Before this one, can I reach into my pocket and massage the amulet gently? Urging on the powers of Malchus.
That's pretty metagamey.
I think it's something to compulsively reach in your pocket and fiddle as you're thinking.
Sure, if that's what you want to do. Yeah, you reach in your pocket.
I was mostly going at it from a story perspective.
All right, if you want to. Yeah, you touch the amulet. 19 int.
And oh, did I need it?
Good call.
Malchus was. Do I feel a spark of inspiration from another plane?
You distinctly remember the only thing the magic mouth said was "unseal the shadow realm."
Good thing I asked Malchus for help, because I would have said unleash.
Mm-hmm.
Unseal the shadow realm. So, running into that chamber ahead of the dwarves, I approach the doorway and whispering so that hopefully Reptar can't even hear, I will say, "Unseal the shadow realm," hoping that it's the command word to close this portal and not to unseal the shadow realm and unleash all sorts of shadow monsters upon us.
The shadows continue to billow and ripple with their cracks of violet energy.
I put a hand on the doorway and repeat the same words.
No
Unseal
change.
the shadow realm.
No change.
I think once again compulsively going for the amulet in my pocket and clenching it in my left fist. I guess it's probably pretty dark in here, isn't it? Unless
You've got a torch, I think.
Okay. Well, then I drop it on the ground, I guess, or I've set it on the ground, I guess, as I touch it, and then my left hand clutching the amulet, and one more time I'll try unseal the Shadow Realm.
No.
Well, shit. And I take a step back, looking at it. Drexel?
No. Come on, Ryan. You're a scientist. You're working on your PhD. You can do this. You have the tools.
We can't destroy Drexel's bloodthirsty's weapon, the Amulet of Malchus. Unseal the Shadow Realm. Close?
No.
I already said. I mean, as I uttered through that whole like poem thing. I don't know if it
Yeah, you.
counts as me.
That's fine. No, nothing happens.
So I think now I'm chin scratching, and the dwarves probably catch up.
Yeah.
If
They all
do want
catch
to.
up. The dwarves gasp and go, "What? God, in Sayor's name, what is this?"
I told you it was a portal. I thought I had an idea on how to close it, but it didn't work. I'm still like scratching my head. Yeah, so I think my hand's in my pocket and I'm clutching the amulet now
Okay.
as I'm trying to run through. Can I remember like the words to detect magic that I cast to open it?
You would have to basically recast detect magic.
Okay. So like it's not like I could the last syllable of that could have been the command word or anything along those lines, or part of it could have been the command word.
It's possible. It's possible that the detect magic spell itself is the command word. It would be a strange command word. Certainly an unusual, bizarre. Like it would be the only time you've ever heard, even in lore, of a spell being the command word for something.
It's a good idea. I'll do it later if I live that long.
Are you still holding on to this gem? On the
It's in my pocket, so my hand's in my pocket. But yes, I'm still in contact with the amulet.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Starting to get some strange feelings from the amulet. And maybe they're starting to distract you from your current task at hand, but you're definitely getting sensations from it.
Okay. Well, if you said unseal the Shadow Realm, what if I tell you and I look back to where the mouth was to seal the Shadow Realm?
The portal disappears.
I quickly like do like some gesture as if like I'd cast this, did like to, try to pick up face, like, whoosh. And then I look dramatically to the dwarves.
Oh, they breathe a deep sigh of relief. Okay, we can board it up now. We can wall it up if you.
So I told you that there's magic in these stones, and if you try to dismantle them, you will unleash that magic upon the world.
All right.
So until I come back and tell you how we can safely take it apart, which may take much research. I know you dwarves are a patient lot. We should keep people out of this hallway. We wouldn't want an innocent dwarf wandering in and fumbling it on again.
So
Put up a do not enter sign and we'll be fine. I pat him on the backs and start
okay.
pushing my way towards the surface again.
All right. Eventually, you make it back towards the surface. It is well past midday by the time you are on out top. It's been a busy day.
When I let go of the amulet, did the gross feelings go away?
Yes.
I would describe them as unpleasant.
Yes, they do go away.
But, okay. You said end of, so I guess one more night in the inn.
Sure. You spend another night at the inn, plop down another 7 silver, 8 silver, I'm sorry. And what do you do?
8 silver. So it's going to be 1 gold, 2 silver. The next day, I'll memorize the same, enlarge, detect magic, and color spray.
Okay.
And first thing in the morning, I think I sit out of bed with a start, go over my books, and cast detect magic on this amulet.
It radiates with, what is that? Extraordinary magic. Overwhelming magic.
Overwhelming.
Yes.
I utter to myself as the amulet glows bright red in my vision.
You notice that there are
20% chance.
There are 5 distinct magical auras coming from this amulet. Each one of the 3 gems has its own magical aura about it. The center gem has its own magical aura, and the gold surrounding everything has a magical aura. The center one has a you only get the school on the center one, and that is necromancy.
Did you give me a death ray? Why would you give a level 2 character death ray? This is even worse than the flaming sword, Neil.
Your words, not mine.
What good could I possibly do with this?
Who says you are meant to do good?
All you had to do is say I trusted Rohana, and I could be taking this to her for identification or something. But I don't think I do. I think I may be splitting town with my death ray and starting my conquest of the world next town over. Okay. Leave this town to the bullywugs. So I head downstairs after this enlightening detect magic.
You head downstairs to find who other but Mildred downstairs. She is talking to the innkeeper, who is continuing to say, No, I'm sorry. It's against policy to reveal guests.
I probably walk in maybe I should have.
I can't take you to their rooms unless our guests like privacy. What do you think? What type of shop do you think I'm running here? This isn't the Dewdrop or the Noble Sack. This is Storybrooke. Our guests deserve their privacy, but if you would like to leave a message, I will surely deliver it to him when he comes down in the morning. And she said, fine. Okay. Tell him I have found another passage in another book about, well, he knows who, and that if he wishes to know, I can give it to him.
I think I step down the stairs at this moment, loudly clanging. I've got my backpack on, and it's kind of big, so I make a point of making my entrance audible.
Okay. Yeah, so she turns to look and goes, "Oh, Georg, good.
Is Reptar in this? Is it a common? This is just a little kiosk thing,
it's like a little lobby
desk or something.
Yeah,
next to a stairway.
Reptar is already downstairs. In fact, he's probably when you were doing your research, he went over to the Half Pint.
Okay,
so he's not here. She goes, I was just looking for you, but this ruffian here that pretends to run a decent establishment wouldn't give me your room number.
No. I think he's just I like to sleep. You know how it is when you memorize your spells. You don't want to be disturbed.
I'm sorry, I'm not a wizard. I don't know.
I pause for a second, look her up and down. I was like, what? Bit of a surprise. All right. I don't say this, but
Mhm.
let's. So what's so urgent? I wasn't expecting to see you. Come, I will walk with you. And I gesture out to the street.
She nods and follows with you. Well, you see, I found something else in one of my other books. I would hate to be thought a poor sage, and the name Drexel rang a bell. And when I read what I did, it seemed so obvious, and it just stuck with me. But something you had mentioned bothered me. You said weapon of Drexel. There's no mention of any weapon of Drexel, but he was known for sacrifice, human sacrifice. He had it's the books don't write it down, but it said a gem or something, and he would ritually rip open his victims. She says, pantomiming like a stabbing motion and a ripping motion, and
She giving me the instructions on how to extract a soul from a body.
and and place this gem of sorts inside of it, or hold it in his hand and plunge his fist into the living heart of the creature.
Mildred, this is quite graphic. Was this all in the book?
She nods. There was a drawing.
I,
He had many servants around him in the drawing, holding the person down, and one hand had a knife, and the other hand had this. Well, the book says it was a gem. You can't see it in the drawing.
perhaps a phylactery.
Perhaps. But I've always read that liches prefer to hide their phylacteries. I don't know. I'm not a lich. But usually those things are well hidden.
I look at her skeptically, as if I'm not sure if I believe that she's not a lich.
Anyway, he would rip this poor creature open and drain its very life essence with his gem.
Harrowing
That's
vision
not a
indeed.
weapon, but it's as close to a weapon as that can be seen. He was eventually hunted down and killed, and his phylactery was found in an ancient crypt, and it was shattered and destroyed. And it was never seen from again.
How do we know it was destroyed? Is that in your books?
The books say so. Presumably someone could have lied, but I don't think a
No.
lich,
My visions.
the power
I'm a
of
dimensionalist, I say. My visions transcend space and time.
good.
Perhaps what I saw was a shadow from the past. I thank you for your thoroughness in your research. Do I owe you any more?
No. I would hate to be thought a poor sage.
Mm-hmm.
Reputation is everything, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, 5 stars in my book.
She gives you.
I'm gonna go
mousy
see
smile.
Rohana, I think.
Okay, hold on. The stream is dying again. It was so stable for so long. Okay, it's good. She heads off. What?
Ayako PM in chat says, chicks dig a guy with confidence. And who has more confidence than a Tarask?
I
think, what is your...
Mr.
Trask.
How did the 14
Trask wind up with those with 45 strength and 35 con?
Probably because he's insane.
Oh no, that's not I thought that was a rule for character.
No.
Boy, am I gullible.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this shit just got heavy.
Yeah.
I'm heading to Rahana, and I'm just gonna, yeah.
You find her in her office. She sees you come in and immediately gets up, starts walking towards you, pauses, and starts coughing up. She grabs a handkerchief, and when she finally pulls it away from her mouth, you see that there's blood on the handkerchief. She takes a few deep, wheezing breaths and stumbles over to the door and shuts it and says, Georg,
Gesundheit.
what can I do for you?
I just came by to thank you for your guidance yesterday. I'm new to these visions, and well,
Well, thank. Is there anything else?
no. I just thought should apologize for my unsettling behavior.
She
It was.
puts a hand
With that-
on your shoulder.
I'm not used to seeing such things, but I think with Mildred's help, I've narrowed it down. What I saw was merely a shadow of the past.
She
It's-
puts a hand on
there's
your
nothing to
shoulder
panic about.
and says, Georg, one does not usually stop by just to say thank you and leave. What is it that you have come to do, or say, or ask? We are.
I have come to change your perspective.
Oh,
To bend and twist the dimensions of space and time as you have never seen before. And I reach in my pocket and pull out a little bit of powdered iron and enlarge her by 20%. She might get a saving throw.
she does get a saving throw. She grows by 20%. Looks around for a moment.
Is it up to? It grows by up to 10%. So she knows that I'm at least second level if she's familiar with the spell. Well, it's time I hit the road.
She chuckles. She's now, what was she? She was 6'8" before.
Yeah, so that's 80 times 1.2, 96 inches. So is it like 8 feet tall?
8 feet tall. She's now 8 feet tall, like hunched over in her shop,
And like,
almost breaking the roof. And goes,
my,
Yeah.
the dimensions of space are shifting around us. Let's go before I get stuck. And I look back out the door.
I did not figure you for a prankster, she says.
And I go scrambling towards half pint.
What is your character thinking about as you scramble towards the half pint?
This phylactery of souls that I have in my pocket.
Okay.
And the whole mess of trouble I could get in. Not your usual town guard sort of trouble, like unraveling the very fabric of space and time sort of trouble.
Okay. Cool. Okay. You get back to the half pint and you find Reptar there. He's hanging out, kind of sulking near the front gate, front door.
What's wrong, Reptar? I give him a pat on the shoulder.
You speak with girl. You make friends. You make kissy faces. You mention temporarily enslaved. She'd walk away. So shallow. I am man. I am not just former slave. I am Reptar, great Akuban warrior. These girls see only slave.
They see exactly what you want them to see. I pat him on the shoulder. These country girls are not worth our time. How'd you like to see a city? They have cities in Akuba?
Of course.
They have them here?
Yes.
I think I heard something about a Thornwood to the northwest. Is that a place?
I do not know, but there's road leading north of town.
What time of day is it? It's like morning, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. I gesture over one of the gnomes.
Oh, what can I do for the two of you? Says the gnome.
We're looking to head north of town. We'd rather have some companions so we aren't so down. Looking to make a little coin, you see. The fighter's him, and the wizard's me. You know where a couple of mercenaries could find some work? I say, my nomish is a little rusty.
Are you looking to hire someone from the Brook of Shire?
No. You've got it wrong, you see. The mercenary, that's me.
Every day or
Escorts.
so, the dwarves take some ore. They have some muscle. I'm sure they could use some more. They head off to Thornwood with everything in tow. And they don't really move slow. There's lots of... The occasional bandit is on the road. And from Black Pine Marsh, there come giant toads and hydras and slugs. And, well, the bandits can be many... There can be many thugs. A dwarf may hire you for a time. If you make it there on time, they like to leave quite early.
Well, you see, I'm almost out of time, and I'm really having trouble coming up with rhymes. So, peace out. What's my bar tab?
You owe him like 3 silver.
All right. And I think we'll head, I guess, to the dwarves to see if they need an escort on the road as we're heading up north anyways. I was hoping to just get paid to walk down the road was basically what was going on. But if we need to leave solo, we can do that too.
Sure. You make it back towards the dwarves. You get back to the mine, and there are a couple of dwarves outside hanging around doing dwarven things. They see you and go, "Ugh, you haven't come back to reopen that thingamajobber down there."
No. Sealed for good, I hope.
Good.
We're heading north in search of, well, bigger towns. These country humans, you know.
Indeed.
Could always use companions on the road. You boys send in a shipment anytime soon? Perhaps need to hire a couple of escorts?
We are headed to Thornwood tomorrow. Wait, this is pretty... No, they're a couple miles out of town, yeah. We're hauling on the last of the ore out of the mine for today. Smelting it down this afternoon or evening. Pounding into Ignatz tonight. And tomorrow at sunrise, we should be headed up to Thornwood. Be a 3-day journey with our horses and wagons. Is that something you would be interested in doing? We could always use a little bit of muscle. We can leave a couple of extra dwarves behind to mine. If we can hire a person or two to guard the wagons.
It's a deal. And I'm sure I don't need to vouch for my work.
Well, why don't you meet us in town square at sunup?
Back to the half pint it is.
Okay.
This town ain't so bad.
Yeah. You get back to...
Hardcore heroes will have fun.
If you leave anything standing.
Yeah, should I? That's why I'm trying to leave town. I don't want to open up the death ray while I'm here.
Okay. You get back to Shirebrook.
You get back to the half pint. And there.
So I think it's like I'm spending like the whole day there. So
Sure.
if you want to have any,
Yeah, like half an hour
Happening.
or an hour later, the sheriff comes walking through. He is a middle-aged human by the name of Balrog.
what? No, you got the names that you stole from me wrong. Tyrus.
Oh, Tyrus, yes. Thank you. You know my characters
Sheriff
better than I
Tyrus
do.
Fellows.
He's a.
You knew you stole one of my character names. You just forgot which one.
I stole a couple. Let's just not worry about that.
Have I not met them yet? Have I not? We'll see.
Yeah, you haven't met the ranger yet. His name is Sturge.
Oh, nice. I met some sturges out in the forest.
And, well, yeah. Oh, wait a
So
minute.
Tyrus
That's not
comes
one of
strutting
your.
in.
Oh, you didn't make a character named
Sturge
Sturge,
was an
did
N-
you? Was he?
Sturge was an NPC in the Qualnir campaign.
That's what
He
I
was
saw.
One of the,
Yeah.
He was one of the higher up. He still
Yeah,
is alive, right? He's one of the higher ups in the Thieves Guild,
Yeah.
the Goldsmiths Union.
Okay. Anyway, Tyrus comes looking over to you and goes, "Hey, you must be that wizard from out of town, Georg, right?"
Yeah, we met last week.
Right, right. You mind if we head outside and talk for a moment? I got some mighty awkward
Outside,
questions to ask you.
Looking from side to side. Are they subversive? I say, leaning in, sort of looking around the inn to see if there's like people nearby or how crowded it is. It's like noon, isn't it?
Yeah. They deal with subversion, but I wouldn't say they're in and of themselves subversive.
Well, why can't you? Very well. Let's go to your. Oh, you're. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You were like time traveling and making robot noises.
Oh no. Yeah, the stream is lagging pretty hard right now. Why don't we? Seems to be recovering. God, I will get
Right,
these.
so I follow-
You follow him
I
out?
follow Tyrus inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So he just steps outside a little ways away from everyone and goes, this is really an uncomfortable question, but I gotta ask you as sheriff here. Would you mind opening up your backpack to me? Letting me search through your things? I know. Quite the breach of privacy, but I gotta, let's just say, it's for the public good.
Well, I never, and I guess I start removing my backpack.
Okay. He
Yeah, I
pulls it like 6 or 7 feet
I
away
hand
from
him
you.
my back. Okay, my
Squats down
backpack
and
doesn't.
starts going through it.
It's pretty scroll case, parchment, flint and steel, vial of ink. I think most of my stuff is in belt pouches.
Okay. After he goes through
There's
it,
nothing. The amulet is in my pocket.
yeah, he goes.
and I'm not
After he goes
sure-
through it, he takes a look at you and goes, "All right, that seems pretty good. Mind if I check those pouches you got there?"
Can I go through my coin purse?
I'll take a look through it, but I promise I
Is
won't
my
take
backpack-
anything.
Is my backpack reassembled?
Yeah, he repacked it, but he's left it like 10 feet away from you.
Maybe if you told me what you were looking for, I could. Oops, sorry about that. Punch in my microphone. I could be of more assistance.
Well, mighty awkward. Why don't... I mean, if you got nothing to hide, it shouldn't be a problem if I just search your pouches real quick, right? You are a visitor in town and a wizard nonetheless. Wouldn't want any
I say, I assure you, I'm not armed.
evildoers in town. Well, wizards aren't armed with weapons, they're armed with some other devices. Is that
I'm
going to be
afraid
a
this has
problem?
gone past the point of comfort, Sheriff. I'm going to need more information if I'm going to allow you to touch my person. Or any
Well,
of these.
why don't you just-
Lord knows what you do with. Lord knows what you do with this powder.
How about you just let me pat them down on either side, make sure that I don't actually need to go through them, just give me a nice pat down on them.
Are you asking for permission to grope me, Sheriff?
Hey now, it's not how this works. I'm trying to keep my people safe, and I'm trying to do this with as much respect and dignity as possible.
Where's Reptar during all of this?
Hey, he's in the tavern.
Do I stand accused of some crime here, Sheriff?
You do not stand accused of any crime, but I am still sheriff in this town, and as such, it is my duty to protect my people. And there is let's just say there's some word going around town that you might be not quite who you say you are. You seem like a decent fella, but I'd like to double check. And if this information's wrong, I'd rather not say what it was. It seems fairly far-fetched to me. I'm quite sure it's inaccurate, but I gotta make sure.
He's got his magic longsword hanging around on his side, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Moonblade. You've been in town long enough and spent enough time talking to just randoms and overhearing things to have
No,
heard
you're
his
joking,
weapon
right?
mentioned. Moonblade
This
is his
how
magic
I'm watched to
longsword.
be.
Yeah.
I guess Moonblade is. I don't know what that's. I don't know. I don't know if I ripped that off of anything, but
Well, you notice that it's got like white scales wrapped around the handle. The pommel is a giant pearl, and the crossguard looks like a crescent-shaped moon made out of ivory. It's a pretty beautiful weapon, and you have heard people in town talking about the sheriff and his magic sword Moonblade and dispatching this person and that person that's bothered. He looks at you and puts his hand
very
on
well, Sheriff.
All right.
If you must inspect my pouches,
He pats down.
and I start with the pouch of red, yellow, and blue powder and throw a color spray right in his face as soon as he tries to touch me. It's a casting time 1. So I think I think I set it up so he goes to touch the pouch and just explodes right in his face.
Okay, you do succeed in surprising him, actually. Does he
There's no
get...
bonus for having high int if he gets a save if he is 6 hit die or more. All creatures above the level of the caster. Okay, so he gets a saving throw. Saving throw versus spell. There's no bonuses, I don't think. No.
Okay. You throw some colors in his face, and he drops to the ground unconscious.
Okay, hold on a sec. Well, okay, it's if he is less than or equal, so he's not less than or equal, that'd be 2d4. 1 or 2 greater, he's blinded. 3 or more, he is stunned for 1 round.
3 more levels above you.
Yeah, he's stunned for 1 round.
Okay, he stands there stunned and reeling.
I pick up my staff, pick up my backpack, stick my head in the door, shout, "Reptar, time to go!" And I sprint, hoping that Reptar follows after me.
Okay. Reptar chases after you, and 20 seconds later, 30 seconds later, you hear Tyrus yelling, "Get him!"
Bellowing, perhaps?
Bellowing after you. and he hurls a dagger your direction.
No! He can see me?
Well, we should roll initiative for the next round. If he goes first, he can do a half move and throw the dagger.
that
Oh
could kill
shit!
me.
You can't beat that speed. You literally can't beat that speed.
Oh, okay, yeah. If he, yeah, okay.
All right.
So,
He chases, hurls a dagger. It tumbles end over end towards you. Your armor class is just 10, right?
I'm a wizard, yeah.
Okay. The dagger hits you in the back for 3 points of damage.
I'm at 1 HP.
Oh, if only he had one more point of strength. So the dagger sticks in your back as you continue to gimp down the road. And he shouts out,
Movement speed
"Wait,
is not effective.
Carl!" And you and your slave run.
Yep, we run down the road. Northwest, I presume.
Yeah.
Out of town.
Okay.
I eventually stop and pull the dagger from my back.
Well,
So I got a dagger now for all this human sacrifice, right?
so you're running.
did it
He doesn't stop chasing you. He's not slowing down.
Okay,
he
I only
maybe-
have 7 con, so I think 7 minutes.
So you guys end up chasing after you. Pretty soon you're both out of town and running down the road. He's coming after you.
He's not. Is he encumbered? Is he wearing armor? I take a peek over my shoulder.
He is wearing beautiful, emerald green scale mail that looks like it's made from some sort of very large scaled creature.
Did you check his encumbrance to make sure he's not encumbered?
I believe so. Yes, he is unencumbered.
Okay.
He's a well-built sheriff.
So, I mean, I guess we're. I mean, do you want? We rolling strength checks or things like that? Is that what it's coming to?
So what is it?
See-
Because you're running.
chase? I mean, I think you can jog your con in minutes. You can speed it up with strength checks.
Well,
But I
one
think-
way that he's got higher
is he trying to
strength
chase
and
me
higher
down?
con than you, so he will inevitably chase you down. But you have a few minutes of
mean,
running. If you would like to.
So I'm out of spells.
Say
I'm at 1
anything
HP. I mean, I think if you want to have the town guard chase me down with their dogs and stab me to death with their magic swords. I don't know if there's anything I'm trying short of ducking into the bushes. I don't think I'm getting out of this one.
Okay. Well, who said they're not necessarily going to kill you, but you and Reptar are running.
I mean, so I think I'm getting run down. I don't think there's any way I can avoid this guy chasing me down.
Reptar says, as you guys are running, What's happening? Why are we running? Why is he chasing us? Why is there a dagger in you?
I don't understand. I'm gonna reach in my pocket and touch the amulet while I'm running.
Your intelligence goes up by 1. Boop, boop, boop.
I don't feel. Do I feel I feel like a strange feeling, right?
You
Is there
do.
any-
Yes. If you
is there
focus
any
on the
insight
feeling,
into what-
you.
It's not on. I'm still just clutching it. I think
Well,
it's
it's
clutched
fine.
in my hands at this point.
The strange, bizarre feeling is coming back to you, and you feel attuned to the powers of the amulet. I'm just going to tell you what the amulet does, because it does impart this knowledge on you if you're in contact with it long enough. And you were almost in contact with it long enough before, but as soon as you got the strange feelings, you let go.
Well, I did use it to boost my intelligence for a check. So, well, anyway, so I guess I.
Well,
complete.
there's major and minor powers. Each of the 3 gems along the outer rim of the amulet can hold a charge of a spell. Each one can either hold an invisibility spell, a magic missile spell, or a true seeing spell. And you can charge each one of those with a little bit of your own life force, which takes the form of a reduction to stats. So if you want to charge with one invisibility spell, you take a penalty of 1 to Dex and Charisma. If you want to charge with the magic missile spell, you take a penalty of 1 to Strength and Wisdom. If you want to charge with the True Seeing spell, you take a penalty of 1 to Perception and Con.
So it's at -1 Dex / Charisma for the invisibility.
Strength and
-1
Wiz for magic missile. And Perception and Con for True Seeing. The center gem it charges through sacrifice and absorption of other creatures' life energies, and when discharged, it will restore any lost stats by 1. And only 1. So, in effect, you could keep a charge of all 3 of those spells, sacrifice something, and restore your lost stats. Or you could charge Magic Missile 3 times, and then you'd have to make 3 sacrifices.
So a sacrifice is a sacrifice restores 1 stat or 3?
Restores all stats by 1. So if you do 3 Magic Missile charges, you would do 3 sacrifices to restore your the 3 points of Strength and Wiz.
Malchus just puts that in my brain.
He's the god of chaos. He works in weird fucking ways, and he makes strange deals. You also know that charging the minor gems takes a round, but it will you can do all 3 gems at once in that one round. And it does require a little bit of blood of the user to be spilled on the amulet and smeared on the gems.
Even if is that an HP worth of blood?
No.
To cast a spell, it requires blood.
No, to charge the amulet. To charge the 3.
But you can cast a spell and subtract that. I could do that, right? I could suck my stats.
Right, for this round, you could suck your stats, and then next round, you would be able to use them. To use the powers.
Reptar, just keep running. I'll meet you in Thornwood, and I sort of point up the road.
Okay.
And I slide the amulet over my head. Leeching my Dex and Charisma, I guess, to cast an invisibility spell next round.
So you're just charging 1 gem?
I'm charging the invisibility gem.
Okay. Because you could charge, for example, all 3 to be invisibility if you wanted, or whatever combination you like. Yeah.
I think I don't want to be sucking my stats dry. Okay. So I'm just going to do one invisibility charge.
Okay, so temporarily...
Slow me down, or can I do that while I'm moving?
You can do a half move and charge the gem.
Okay, so I guess I slow down. How far behind us is Tyrus? I guess he did a half move to throw a dagger, and then he started chasing. So I could presumably do a half move, and he wouldn't catch me quite yet?
Yeah, you do a half move, and then next round you'd roll initiative.
All right, so I slow down to pull it over my head, do a little twitch as my life force leaks out of me. How should I keep track of these temporary stats?
Reach some blood that's from the dagger sticking out of your back to smear it.
Oh, you've got to do that to charge it?
Yeah, to charge it. Not to cast the spells, but to charge it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then... So you stop to kind of do this, and he slows to a stop as he chases after you. He goes,
I try to make it discreet, and
it's.
I mean, there's already blood coming out of me, right? So I can put that blood on the amulet.
Yeah.
And I put the amulet on my head, so I pull the dagger out and use that blood, smear the bloody dagger on the amulet.
He goes,
let's roll initiative.
Yeah. As he comes to a slow stop, he says, "I didn't think you'd be in league with a lich. I thought you were a friendly wizard. Can't believe you betray me like this. As you roll initiative.
I don't know what the speed is for invoking
3.
the power of Malchus.
And you go first, actually. You beat his initiative.
So I think I just vanish before his eyes and don't respond to a word he says.
Okay. Do you stand there? Because you can use it and take a half move, too.
Yeah, I'll sort of shimmy away, like off the road,
Okay.
and
He
try to escape.
gives a screech, swings his sword where you were.
He draws his steel and swings.
Yeah, as you vanish. And then he cries out,
I think.
Georg! Georg! You bastard! We gave you sanctuary! This is what you do? Whose phylactery do you have? We'll find you!
Is there more than one down there? What the fuck town is this? I don't think I was trying to think of witty responses to shout from the invisibility, but I think I just slip away.
Okay. You can slip away without too much trouble. You are invisible after all. A few other town guards eventually catch up, and you are gone by the time they do, and you can no longer hear their conversation. Please add a dagger to your character sheet. Please add Carl to your character sheet, actually.
Carl is the name of the dagger?
Yes.
I thought that was the name of a town guard.
No, it's the dagger.
Okay, my 7 dex doesn't cause any problems.
No.
Okay. I have Carl. Does it appear to be a magic dagger?
Who said anything about magic? He likes to name his shit.
Carl the dagger. Cool. All right. Along with the phylactery of souls, which I guess is around my neck.
Amulet of Malchus. It's not the...
The amulet of Malchus.
You start calling things one thing, and then it turns out you're wrong, and you're going to get so disappointed.
Wow. How did Tyrus find out? That snitchy sage go and brag.
God, this is one of those moments where I want to tell you, but I probably shouldn't because I'm the DM and I should keep my secrets.
That's fine. That's fine.
But don't piss off shopkeepers that cast magic ESP spells.
Who did I even piss off? I guess I did enlarge her.
Yeah, in her own shop. You made her 8 feet tall.
That was a lovable prank.
Yeah. And her lovable
Apparently not.
prank in response was to ESP you. And then you're like, I'm thinking about stealing this phylactery I've got in my pocket. Blah, 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 blah. And she's like, oh my god. He's got a what? It's really a big misunderstanding.
Well, I think I'll have to explain myself later if I ever come back to this town. It's unlikely.
Yeah.
I think I think I shout back to Tyrus. Remember, you assaulted me. Good luck with the bullywugs on your own. And I run for the hills.
All right. Why don't we take our last break right here, and we'll come back with the close for Dicing with Death this week. So see you all in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.